Remember the 3DS and Wii U? All the sweet memories you have with those systems? Well, their digital storefronts are about to die. This is your final warning because after March 27th, 2023, you will not be able to make any new digital purchases on those platforms. So if you need to quickly add funds to your account or you want recommendations on the best games to pick up, you're going to want to check out the other videos on our channel. But in this video, I'm going to be recommending some 3DS games that I really like. But I want to clarify, these are not the best 3DS games. You can find those all over the internet. You really don't need me to tell you that like Ocarina of Time is a good video game. No. This is not about like the 3DS canon today. This is about me, a human being that experiences nostalgia and occasionally enjoys bad games. So let's talk about 5 3DS games that I just don't think are gonna get shouted out anywhere else. Number 1, the early days of the 3DS were rough, and you basically only had the launch titles to get you through a huge drought. But my companion in those dark times was Super Street Fighter IV 3D Edition, a surprisingly good port of the console fighting game. And fun fact, my first ever Street Fighter game. So while other people were playing Pilot Wings or Steel Diver, I was figuring out how to Hadouken for the first time. For real, this is a cool game for me to have on 3DS for those memories, but also, like, who knows if we will ever see a modern Street Fighter game on a Nintendo console again. Plus, I know people love to Street Pass out here, and there's a fun game that has you collecting, like, little 3D figures and making a team and battling other teams set by other players when you Street Pass them. So a pretty cool bonus. All right, so here's the truth. I made this video and then afterwards was told that my number 2 game was actually delisted from the 3DS eShop already, so you can't get it. It's over. It's already, the eShop has already died in little ways that I didn't know about. But anyways, that game was Dragon Ball Z Extreme Butoden. I spent like an insane amount of hours with this game. I was addicted to it. The combat was much easier to get into than something like Street Fighter, but it was still really fun, flashy, fast-paced. I think Dragon Ball FighterZ like took a lot of inspiration from this game, and I don't know if I've ever seen another game do this. It had cross-play with a One Piece fighting game, a completely different video game. You could have your Dragon Ball Z fighting team fight a One Piece team, 2 different games playing each other. 3DS, oh my god, what the heck? So cool. But again, it's already gone. So number 3, number 2, number 3, Pokemon Rumble Blast. Now listen, I know a lot of people out there that are gonna be like, Jake, you are crazy. Pokemon Rumble Blast, there is a certain kind of human being that these games appeal to. You know what I mean? Sometimes on my handheld, I just want to put a game on, forget everything else going on into the world, press that sweet A button, and in the case of Pokemon Rumble Blast, run around these dungeons, get new Pokemon, press the A button, see what it does for every Pokemon. You know, sometimes you get a little melee attack, sometimes you get a cool ranged attack, and I feel like just that loop of getting a new little Pokemon figure, seeing what they do, that was enough for me. This was a good time. I like the Pokemon Rumble games. I'd like to see a new one. All right, next I'm giving a little tip of the cap to Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate. You know, in this modern video game landscape that we find ourselves in, who is to say if we will ever get another Batman Arkham style game? So this could be it. If you've played them all, you probably have not played Blackgate. And what's going on here is that instead of like a typical Arkham style game, this is more of a Metroidvania. It's 2D for the most part, and they honestly do a pretty good job of adapting like the melee combat. You know, you do your punches, you do your counters into this little small 3DS game. You're doing your detective mode, you're sneaking around. It translates a lot of the Batman Arkham stuff pretty well for what it is. I think it's kind of a good time. All right, and my last thing here is I want to give a nod to Curse Sploosh. I honestly don't know if people know about Curse Sploosh. I feel like I only found it because one day I was thirsting for a 3DS game. I hadn't played my 3DS in a long time, and a friend of mine, an IRL friend, was like, dude, you gotta play Curse Sploosh. And it's this whole game where you're a rock going down a well, just trying to get to the bottom, avoid the barriers, and listen, it's addicting. It's not going to win any GOTY awards, but download it. It's inexpensive. Have a good time. Curse Sploosh, baby. All right, and let's do one more since my Dragon Ball game was eliminated. And I know you know about this game. This is a big Nintendo game. You're gonna be like, Jake, this does not fit within your theme of ridiculous games, but I gotta shout out Yoshi's Woolly World, specifically the 3DS version, Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World, because I made a short about this recently. And I had a lot of people in the comments telling me, no, you gotta play the Wii U version for the graphics, baby. And I'm like, whoa. First off, if I'm going back to relatively old games, I've kind of put my desires for the graphics aside. But second, this game is cozy. Cozy in a way that I want to have on my 3DS. I want to have near me. I want to have lights off, go into bed, got my stylus out, designing my own Yarn Yoshi, a feature that's not even in your frickin' Wii U version, by the way. 3DS supremacy for Yoshi's Woolly World. But hey everybody, that is going to do it for this video. Thank you for giving me a chance to shout out some 3DS games that might not get any love anywhere else. Now, if you want to see my top 5 3DS games that are, like actually, critically acclaimed games, if you're interested in that, leave a comment below. Maybe we'll circle back to that before the 3DS eShop dies. See you next time.